Hey Poppers! Today I'm going to teach you how to make cake pops the easiest way. Let's get popping! Amy Mucha here, owner of Daisy Pops and Daisy Makes. To create your own professional looking cake pops, you need some easy ingredients. You need a box of cake mix, water, oil, eggs, frosting, cake pop sticks, melting wafers, and sprinkles. Pro tip, to save yourself hours of rolling out spherical cake pops, check out our Daisy Makes Disc Pop Starter Kit. The cutters will give the cake pops a uniform shape, and the roller will give them a uniform depth to make your cake pops more professional. The disc cake pop allows you more ways to decorate, which is why my company, Daisy Pops, only makes disc cake pops. I'll link that starter kit up here, as well as down in the description below. When checking out online, use the code YouTube to save 10% on your order. Let's get started and bake our cake. You start with your favorite cake mix. Pour it into a bowl. I'm using a basic chocolate cake right here. All right, then what you do is you add 7/8 cup of water. I'm gonna pour in 1/8 cup oil. Then add 3 eggs. This is slightly different than the box instructions. We make it a little less liquidy to make it perfect for cake pops. Then what you do is dump it into a food mixer. Turn it on and mix away. All right, our cake batter is done. I'm gonna go pop it in the oven and bake it according to the box instructions. Be right back. Our cake is all cool. I cut it up into pieces. Now I'm gonna throw it into our food processor with a little bit of frosting so it becomes that cake pop dough. Once our cake is completely crumbled in our food processor, we add in frosting 1 little scoop at a time. Once added, you go ahead and food process again. You keep doing this and adding more and more frosting until your cake dough comes together like a ball in your food processor. All right, success. Our cake pop dough clumped together, and here we have it, dough that is ready to be popified. If you don't have a food processor at home, it's okay. You can do all of this by hand, crumbling it by hand, mixing in your frosting by hand. It'll still work just fine. Now we're ready to go melt our melting wafers. Put them in the microwave for 30 seconds and stir it in between until it's nice and melty. Once your chocolate is melted, it should have the consistency where it just runs off a spoon nice and evenly. Now we're ready to go ahead and roll out our cake pop dough with our Daisy Makes rolling pin, including the 1/2 inch depth wheel so it stays even all the way across. Before we start rolling, I like to cover my cake pop dough on both sides with parchment paper and then roll away so your rolling pin doesn't get dirty. There we go. Now we have perfectly evenly rolled cake pop dough, ready to be cut. At Daisy Pops, instead of rolling spherical cake balls, we make them kind of like cookies, where we roll out our dough like I showed you, and then we're going to cut them out. This is our cutter that will cut them out into a consistent shape every time, and this is the popper that will push our dough out. We press it into the dough with the handles, we lift it up, and then we pop it right out. I went ahead and made a couple more cake discs. Now we're gonna popify them. You take your stick, you dip it into just a little bit of chocolate, then you push it through the cake pop. The great thing about these Daisy Makes trays is that it keeps your cake disc in a circular shape even when you push your stick all the way through. Now what you do is you take your cake pops after you've given the chocolate just about 30 seconds to dry or so. We're gonna dip it in our chocolate. Dip it all the way in, and then you raise it out. Notice there's some excess chocolate, so you can tap, 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 tap to get the extra off. But what we do at Daisy Pops is we actually use a hand massager. We turn it on, hold it up right next to the stick, and it massages the excess chocolate right off. Once you've gotten the excess chocolate off, here's your cake pop ready to be sprinkled while the chocolate is still wet. You take your sprinkles, you sprinkle on top of it, and voila, we have a beautifully decorated cake pop. Then all that's left to do is share the cake pop joy with others. If you want to take your cake pop game to the next level, watch this easy cake pop decorating video where I show you 5 simple ways to decorate. You can also order pre-made cake pops from the Daisy Pops website, linked in the description below. Use the code YouTube for 10% off your entire order. Like and subscribe for all things cake pop. Until next time, happy popping!